Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen from Legion Law PLLC. I'm coming to you today with a video on how to protect your estate during and after a divorce. But before I dive into that, I wanted to remind you guys how to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So today's topic is about divorce and estate planning, and it comes from the fact that I've been working with a close friend of mine and a potential client almost on her estate plan. She's thinking about getting divorced. She's pretty serious about it. I think she's going to file here soon. And so she had some questions about her estate, which, normally during a divorce, that is usually not on people's minds. So kudos to her. That being said, divorce obviously is going to dramatically change lives. It's going to change financial plans. It's going to change how children are interacting with the parents. All aspects of life dramatically change in most divorces, including estate planning. So my hope is that this video can explain what people should be looking for during estate planning for during and after a divorce, to make sure that they're protected, because the last thing that most people want after they get divorced is to give their estate to their ex-spouse, and that's understandable. So that being said, let's dive right in. I'm gonna focus on two different parts. There's gonna be during the divorce process, everybody's negotiating and filing things, and then once everything is settled, after the divorce, what do you do for estate planning for both of those circumstances? So for the first circumstance, during a divorce, the thing I can say is do at least one of two things. One, either update your estate plan entirely to exclude your spouse and to include new people and make new changes and cause new things to happen, or at the very least, create a new will that revokes your previous will and also revoke all your documents and say they're all not valid anymore. And when I say documents, I mean financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney, HIPAA release forms, even, all that stuff. You want a paper, write it down, put it in signing, get it notarized, and say, I'm revoking all that stuff because it's no longer valid. And this is kind of a weird thing, I personally believe, but if somebody decides to get divorced, they have to wait a certain number of days before they can finalize the divorce. So I think in Texas, and don't quote me on this, I'm not a family attorney, but you file, and then I think you wait 60 days, and then you can get divorced before a judge. And during that 60-day period, you could die. You could get hit by a car. You could get cancer. Anything can happen. And during that 60 days, you already made up your mind. You're divorced in your mind, but legally speaking, still on paper, you're still married. So that's a concern, because if you pass away during that 60 days, all your stuff is going to your soon-to-be ex-spouse. Your soon-to-be ex-spouse can still make medical decisions and financial decisions on your behalf. And a lot of people don't want that to happen. So again, one of those two options, either completely update everything or revoke everything, but you should do one of those two things to protect yourself from your soon-to-be ex-spouse changing everything, affecting everything, and inheriting everything if you were to pass away during that time period, that 60-day period in Texas. So that's what happens during a divorce, and those are my recommendations on that front. After a divorce, technically speaking, you don't have to do much, but if you want to really make sure you're protected from your ex-spouse, which is a very large concern for most people, you should definitely update your estate plan again. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm saying the same thing twice, but in Texas, there's a strange law that states if you have a beneficiary designation, or if your will, or if any estate planning document mentions your ex-spouse and you didn't change it after you got divorced, then that clause doesn't apply anymore. It's like your ex-spouse predeceased you. Now, I know that sounds kind of strange, so let me re-explain it a little bit. Essentially, if you forget to update your documents and you have finalized your divorce, it's all done, and you're officially single by yourself or married to someone else, then if your estate planning document mentions the old ex-spouse, it's invalid. It doesn't count. Your ex-spouse is excluded from those documents, even though the documents say your ex-spouse is included. Now that's great, but the problem is it doesn't state what happens after your ex-spouse is gone. Who takes the ex-spouse's place? Is it the new spouse? Is it your children? Is it your best friend? It doesn't say anything like that. So technically speaking, yes, you're protected in the fact that your ex-spouse won't get your stuff, but it doesn't state who you want your new people to get. And so you'll have to update either way. And so if you just update during the divorce, You've already done that, but if you haven't done it afterwards, you definitely want to, because that's important. You want to say no ex-spouse and this new person. In addition to that, there is a way in which if you fail to update and then your ex-spouse sees that, they can cause hell. They can raise a bunch of problems. They can say, oh, well, I swear I'm entitled to it. They meant to keep me there. We're still good friends. We're still on talking terms. We still love each other, all that stuff, which may or may not be true. But either way, it is just one more avenue for your ex-spouse to possibly cause problems for you. And that's something you definitely don't want to have happen to you. So either way, the main theme of everything I'm trying to say is update your estate plan and make sure you designate how everything is going to happen. Make it from brand new, from scratch, as if you are starting a new life. So you might as well do that with your estate plan as well. That being said, there's plenty of questions or plenty of problems that pop up during a divorce and estate planning. So it is extremely important to talk to an attorney to make sure you're doing it right. And I'm one of those attorneys. So feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Derek Christensen. You can reach out to me at Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or my website, legionlawpllc.com. So thank you so much, guys, and you guys have a good one. Hopefully you're getting divorced in the clean manner. So we'll see you on the next one.